This is Rafik Luzon, and you are tuned in to Nothing But That Sports Talk. Welcome to Nothing But That Sports Talk. I'm back on the Zoom once again with Rafik Luzon, Wavy World's host, Ryan Walker on hand. Welcome to the show. Obviously, and let's just catch up on everything that's been going on since the last time we had a Zoom interview. And obviously, for those of you that don't know, I've been a WSJU host and sports commentator for like the past 2 semesters. I'm literally just fresh off calling some basketball games and volleyball games. I've even had special guests like Amanda Morrison from Don't Sit at Home, Elaine Name, Renee from Rain Reports, and a couple other special guests as well. And obviously, you got a chance to come down to do some shows with me at WSJU Radio, get to see the campus, the same campus that Patrick and we walked along so many years ago that Ian Jackson walked around right now. Oh, yeah. And Ariel Little is currently walking around on that campus as well. I mean, not at the moment, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And obviously, college life is college life when it comes to academic work. So, yeah, that's why when you do see me, you see it on WFUV, it's on WSJU radio, whether it's for radio shows, audio, or, yeah, there's also the sports commentary I've been doing for basketball and volleyball. Oh, yeah, and we can't forget the fact that we both had our opportunities to have some on-air time with Andrew Combo, 1-2 Combo. So there's that to think about. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything that's been going on ever since the last time we had this Zoom interview. Now, let's catch up on your side.
Oh man, great! First things first, congratulations to all the good work you do, of course, at St. John's. And like I said, I was blessed to come down a few times and be with you in the studio. I'm gonna try to get back in there studio with you again too. I'll be busy. I got a lot of stuff going on right now, and a lot of stuff I'm reshuffling around. But we're gonna get back into there eventually. Before of course, before the year, the matters and the semesters are all done. But yeah, great work that you're doing there. Attacking so many different levels of sports at your school with the basketball for St. John's, whether it be the men's side or the women's side, and baseball and volleyball. So so many different smart ways to just keep yourself a part of everything that's going on there at St. John's during your time there, in getting your doctorate. And yeah, I mean, same thing with me, man. I'm just so busy between the Wavy World podcast, what we're doing. So big shout out to Born for Peace, NYC Elite 32. Make sure we lock in, guys, to Born for Peace. Go subscribe to Wavy's World podcast. It's free. We're doing so many great shows with athletes, coaches, hip hop artists, DJs, everybody, marketing execs, business people, teachers. There's so many, coaches, different players. We have so many different. We had a high school player on the other day. We had Hotshot Hank and B Will, who's they're brothers, and he's B Will Brandon was going to be the Garden City JV assistant coach. So we had many different. We had New York City prospects, Joe Pope. We've had many different array of guests on there, people that are impactful to the culture and also have impacted the game and the life of it as well too. So, like you said, appreciate everybody that supports, and go subscribe and lock in and get some of the knowledge, even if it's 5 minutes that you could watch. Some of the shows, I always tell, listen, podcasts are tough. You have to really be into it. Sometimes people just need certain little bit clips and stuff like that. You really like it, you can watch, or, go piece by piece like a show. We all have so much busy lives, but there's, times anybody has any time, any content, and just to go on there and see for 5-10 minutes, you'll see what we got. We going on and going from there. So yeah, the podcast, working, amongst that, the takeover tournament where I'm there announcing and doing a lot of interviews, which takes a lot as well to do as well. 5 a.m. Brotherhood will be back next week, so I'll be doing games down there for their opening. And I'm trying to think if anything. I was doing some media work with big shout out to my man, North Mid Atlantic Sports Media, Max Preps, and Fidel, my man Mike Walker. We did the Catholic League boys and girls, the high school divisions. It was the coaches and players introductory preseason press conference for form of a day, and it was great to do that work with him where he did the camera work and I was doing the interviews. So the boys one was at Mount St. Michael, the girl one was at Christ the King. So it was a very good day and very special. So that's it. Just staying so busy and working and trying to when I always have the time to make sure we're around the children and do what we gotta do. But it's been a lot now. That's why I definitely needed today as a day to rest, and tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I get to enjoy with the folks. So same thing, just trying to keep brewing, keeping the podcast going, keep everything flowing. We got a big event coming up in Queens College, December 27th to 28th. Not Queens College, I'm sorry. I think we're gonna be at August Martin for this one, if I'm not mistaken, high school in Queens for the 27th to 28th. So make sure everybody locks in with that. You're more than welcome to come out as well too. And
Yeah, like I said, yeah, as I was saying, and and also shout out to Shantae Harlett, who's Short Sea Entertainment. She managed to come down and catch a few St. John's games, and it's all because of the caveat that I built that helped her, so I could help her. I mean, why not use a free caveat I get to help my friends and
of course,
that really been loyal to me and been on my show a couple of times, whether you're somebody that's been on a handful of times or somebody that comes on the show all the time, or even at the very least contribute to my interviews. Shout out to her. Shout out to you.
yeah, appreciate you, man. Yeah, man. We've been doing stuff like this and stuff like this for such a while. It's so fun to just see all our growths in the game of what we all do and the different plateaus and challenges that we take during the time of doing media announcing and all this form of work that we do. So always great to get the flowers from you, get flowers in general, and it's it's cool, man. It's cool, yeah. And just like you said, anytime we have anything that we can display knowledge or help other people in the realms that we do, like why not? You know what I'm saying? Especially people that take care of us too as well.
Yeah, it's only bad. And we also gotta give a shout out to Andrew Combo. He for all the work that he's done for both our platforms. Not only he's a great basketball mind.
Yeah, Andrew, Combo's cool, man. We H2O had him come out a few weeks back when we first did a project together, and it was a pretty cool show. Like I said, he's got a lot of energy, a lot of electric, and he's got good perspectives of sports because of course he was a player and traveled overseas with it to got to play it at different levels to really experience and be able to be a part of what the game is about and game of basketball and see different realms. So even when we did the show, it was great to get his knowledge on it and to see his perspective. um it's so crazy when you hear him talk. Like some people will like some people say, "Oh, he just always making up stuff." Everything for him is like for shock value and stuff. And you know what? He's a content creator, so he's about definitely drawing your attention. But he believes what the hell he says. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it more passionate. And that's when it's great to see the topics and see the times when him and H2O. Well, we would all go at it on the show and have our different and sometimes the similar perspectives, but different perspectives on sports and everything. And yeah, so it was great when we had him come out on the show. And like I said, I seen him do a couple projects with you down there in St. John's. Hopefully one time I could be able to catch it the next time again. We're all up in there and just rock and roll. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I can't even say yes. I mean, what? There's nothing else to say that has really been said. I mean, we're both doing everything we can to continue doing it. I mean, even outside nothing but that sports talk. And all it took was that one yes from St. John's, being a student again, in order for me to have more opportunities to expand my horizon in radio broadcasting as a host and a commentator to the point where I might get that yes to do street ball commentary in the near future, if not the broadcast realms.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. I'm seeing here at the same time looking at the Knicks and the Charlotte Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
But that'd be great if you can get that opportunity of any realms to do anything with the street ball tournaments, especially the form of a live stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, as we continue talking about, say, John's related stuff, right now they're currently leading 39-30 over Auburn. And prior to that, they've had some good wins. The one-sided wins at Carnesec Arena. But yeah, they've had two losses, both of them coming against Iowa State and Alabama. So how do you? I mean, I know I could evaluate because clearly they start off bad. They show that their shooting has improved a bit since last year when Osiah Sellers and Mitchell are knocking down shots and Zubietafor doing everything he can to get some points up in the paint. And Ian Jackson showed you flashes of what he was during his high school days and the one
Yeah.
season he had in North Carolina. With that, everything said, what do you think about what I've said about St. John's and from what you see with this team so far?
Oh no, they're gonna have a good squad. They're gonna gel better during the end of the year, being middle of the year, especially on the defensive end. They typical like St. John's team in the past. They're better at it, but they don't shoot the ball too great from the perimeter consistently. It's scary. They were actually a better 3-point shooting team last year, and they didn't have an array of shooters. They had guys that took the ball and shot it in the right opportunities. So I think they'll be fine. Eventually, they'll have a good team. I think Patino with these guys, once they're all right, has a potential to take them very far in the tournament. I could see them Sweet 16, Elite 8, or even Final Four if they all catch it together and gel the right way.
Yeah, I mean they proven that they proven that for when I got a chance to call the game against William and Mary, and then they beat up Bucknell. They showed you the type of offensive juggernaut they could be. And yeah, they had the narrow losses to Alabama and Iowa State, but they showed you the potential of a Final Four team that
Correct.
Patino put together. And when I asked for Patino about the Patino effect, he told me he doesn't really know what it means in Biggie's Media Day.
Yeah, Patino doesn't want to hear him buy into that. He wants to say, the Patino effect. It's us effect, and everybody's doing what they have to do to make sure that the ball club has their love with it too. Shout out to my man too. Though. Shout out to Randy Miller. Though definitely for NYC Prospects was a great show. I can't wait till we could get the knowledge out with that one with high school basketball and eligibility NIL. It was a very 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 great show.
Yeah. As we talking about high school, we've seen some interesting picks, but one that was staying out is PJ Singleton from
Yeah,
Mile or
in
choosing
the
to go to
upstate.
Austin P not too long ago. Shout out to Ching and Talking Spicy for doing that interview at the school. They do a phenomenal job showcasing high school talent all over with the Baseline Banter show. They
Wow.
literally doing everything they can to showcase some of the best in high school basketball. Begin to Peter Singleton as he enters year 4. What are your overall impressions about this guy, and how will this help him become college basketball ready by the time his Austin P Day starts?
Okay, look at this crap right here. Yeah, listen, that.
As I'm trying to say, like
Mhm.
when you look back at PJ Singleton choose to go to Austin P, how will this senior year help him become ready for college basketball?
Well, no. First of all, PJ Singleton's a good player. I'm so happy when I seen that decision was made too. We watching him and his development at Canarsie over the last few years. Xavier Francis graduated, but those guys had a great thing last year. They had the guy Devin Clark, guy from Long Island, kid playing for Canarsie last few years, doing very good things. So that was a great decision for him, and I always thought he was very good. It's so crazy. Prime, we did an interview with him at the NY Classic at Eagle, and we still haven't even posted yet. And I keep telling Prime to find it to put it out there, especially with him making his decision. But it was a great event, and he's a good player. He deserves it. And New York City has a lot of kids, going to good Division I schools. Man, God bless them. Jada Swan, Hofstra, the Ratliff twins, I believe, are going to USC. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mingo's going to make a decision soon. So there's a lot of good players up that are all making pretty cool decisions and putting themselves in position.
Yeah, and in fact, that Canarsie is going to be playing in these big tournaments, including the Wolfpack Thanksgiving weekend events this weekend, and of course they're going to have a game against Lehigh, and I've got a chance to look at Lehigh. They're no joke.
Yeah, but they're probably playing Lehigh Regional. I don't think they're going to play the national team. Yeah, they're not playing the national team. The national team schedule, I believe, only has Eagle Academy Brooklyn on the schedule. And I believe that's the only PSAL team. they play Chaminade every year, but everything else on Lehigh schedule, I believe, is like those elite, thing schools. They might be playing Lehigh Regional, and that's still a heck of a contest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's still a hell of a contest. All right. Now, in case you don't get to do any more Zoom into it, we probably will by the time the semester's over, by the time these next 2 weeks of the semester's over. You gotta look at the type of year New York sports has been. Of course, recently Gotham FC won their second NWSL championship within a 3-year span.
Oh, nice.
Of course, the York Knicks returned to the conference finals owing to losing Indiana Pacers again. And at least those are pretty much the only good things happening with New York sports, because the New York Liberty kind of derailed and went home in the first round. And we had to watch the Aces win 3 championships in 4 years. And what else is there to say? There's also the bad side. The New York Mets, they went from 45-24 to not making the postseason. The Yankees go home to a certain city where you were originally born in. The Toronto Blue Jays, the Blue Jays came within literally a game-7 victory away from taking out the Los Angeles Dodgers. And and then those are 2 typical bad NFL teams in New York or New Jersey area, and that's the New York Jets and New York Giants. The Giants are literally the worst of it. You've had 5 games where you blew leads at the last minute or with 10 minutes left in the game.
I told you they were going to be terrible again this year, my Giants. I told you. I said 5 wins.
Yeah, you told me they were going to be terrible. You didn't tell me they were going to be choke jobs in half of those losses.
Yeah, they're terrible.
You didn't tell me that. I mean, they're playing good games and they never plays.
What does terrible mean?
Terrible means you're 2 the record. The record of the state is at 2-9 is terrible.
They're terrible. It's bad.
Now, with that being said, which of those teams, which New York team had the better year?
In
2025.
I guess the Liberty coming off winning, even though they didn't win back to back. I guess the Liberty.
I mean, I guess it's only fair. The Liberty did go home in the first round to the Phoenix Mercury.
Right. Coming off the championship win. So, I mean, we can say the Yankees, I guess, they went to the World Series, lost, went back, one out or whatever different away from, But that one's tough for New York sports because we're all really down right now.
Yeah. But to me, the New York Knicks had a better year. They came back to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Let's just call it the way it is. And for the worst, well, I think it's easier to predict which team's the worst. The best, the second half collapse, or the Giants' and Jets' terrible season.
They both stink. And it's just really horrific. And the Knicks are beating the crap out of Charlotte right now. But I'm just ashamed of both teams. It's a shame. It's sad. You have 2 passionate, strong fan bases in Giants and Jets, and they just subjected to such ineptitude and mediocrity every time these are guys go on the field. It's got to stop, and it's disgusting. They need to blow it up and start again.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, Jackson Dirt shows you how good of a quarterback he can be when he's locked in. But those collapse, the loss to the Denver Broncos, the loss to the Lions, the loss to the Chicago Bears.
It's just terrible losses and big leads. Got to do to a lot of execution and coaching. So, eventually I know there's a lot of decisions they have to make in the offseason.
Yeah, definitely a lot of decisions. But then again, the good quarterbacks that Johnson High end up starting out badly, and eventually they gel at the end. Look at Bryce Young. Look at Bryce Young. Look at Drake Maya.
But you know what?
Teams.
The Knicks' issue is not a top pick to me. We're getting down there. The Knicks should go into the draft And the Knicks should. I'm looking at this thing right now at the same time. I thought they were about to fight. Oh yeah. So these games tonight are for the cup, right?
Yeah, the NBA Cup.
Good. Okay, good. Hopefully, I don't know where this will put the Knicks at. They're up 106 to 87 right now. It's it's 6:34 on the clock. So
Yeah, I mean, it's against the Hornets. Of course, they're going to get that win.
that's true. You take it how you get it, because sometimes they should have never lost that first cup game. I was so upset about that to the Bucks. They should have won that game.
Nah, it wasn't the Bucks. It was against the Chicago Bulls.
Yes, they should have not lost that game. You sure it was against the Bulls or was the Bucks?
Yeah, it was against Chicago Bulls. They lost to Chicago. They beat Miami. They're now beating up the Charlotte Hornets, and then they got the Milwaukee Bucks coming up.
Perfect. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. While we're on the subject, what are your overall impressions of the Knicks at the beginning of the season?
I think they're all right. I think they're panicking too much, man. Every time something doesn't work, everybody's like, trade this and trade that. I keep hearing these Anthony Davis stuff. No disrespect. Anthony Davis is a Hall of Famer, great player, champion, golden medalist, national championship in college, state championship. He's done it all. But his durability is what questions me. I keep hearing him and Mitchell Robinson and OG for him. I don't know. I think the Knicks just need to play with the stuff that they got right now, the team that they got, and just figure it out in gel. Could they be playing a little bit better in a couple games that they have away? Yes. But I'm content at where they at because I just know it's a growing process and a learning process. Our keyest evaluation of them will be, to me, mid-January going into February.
That is a very interesting fact. Okay. We know that Kevin Durant is doing decent and the Rockets are solid. But not too long ago, I managed to watch this little debate that happened between Kevin Durant fans and haters. And the House Highlight Show I showed you Haran was on not too long ago. And you might want to listen to this rage debate going down.
I guess so. You're probably going to have to send it to me.
Huh?
You said debate, right?
Yeah. It's better if I share it with you.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I'll take a look at it once we're done a little later. No problem. Yikes.
Yeah, you're right. It's kind of better that way instead of watching along. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty good interesting month of sports. I mean, the Knicks are doing decent. I mean,
yeah, they're playing a ball. They could be better, but they're playing okay ball. It's gonna be a process.
Yeah, they just had to improve their 3-point defense. The 3-point defense will kind of ruin it for them in the postseason last year.
Yeah. Ugh. That's the other part that I'm hoping to develop. And like you said, they're holding Charlotte to 89 points tonight at the moment with 5 to 6 minutes on the clock. And also is Charlotte. Wow, look at my guy Zion James that used to be at Duke. Okay. Wow, he found a little spot in the NBA, huh?
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Duke, what do you think about the Boozer brothers for your Duke Blue Devils?
They're good kids. Big boy the center's probably is going to be in the NBA draft this year. The younger one probably stay around for another second year. But they're good kids. Duke has a very young core again, and a lot of guys that are gonna feel themselves out. We don't really have like an offensive prodigy like a Cooper or like a Zion. We could throw the ball into to go get a bucket, but they have like a core of guys. Like I said, with the Boozer, the young other Boozer as well. Isaiah Evans this year. This is a big time year for him to step up offensively and try to take it to that next level. So I like what they're doing so far. It's college basketball is so tough, man. Everybody's gonna start knowing who they are by the end of December, especially when it gets close to conference play.
Yeah, I mean, we're all gonna get to know. Just like I'm getting to know St. John's, they're currently leading 41-33 over Auburn in a battle of ranked teams. St. John's currently 14 in the country. So hopefully this win will help them. Hopefully if they were to end it with a victory after this podcast, we'll probably see I don't know, maybe elevate their game.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
all
Of
to
some
do,
realms,
yeah, take it one day at a time. That's all I can say.
I agree.
And that was this episode. Nothing but that sports talk. Think what's up, my Ryan Walker. I'm Rafik Luzon. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. Locked in, man. Awesome.